He was so close to greatness that you didn't see. Oh, should I just open Stormlight Archive?
Being the
Might help.
disappointment my parents always expected.
Oh, you didn't know about Crypto the Superdog?
You were right there.
Oh yeah, he did. He got so close. Here,
Oh
Alrighty.
no,
I
my
guess.
favorite streamer is streaming. The man who I pay $6 to monthly for the past 2.5 years is streaming. I better go watch him and make sure I get my money's worth.
7.
I'm a
That's
little
right.
further off than Kim was.
7.
7.
Wow.
7. Well, you're closer than me.
Thanks, Marshall.
Alrighty. Well, Jake's going to be a little late, and Brittany's not coming tonight, so pretty much good to go.
Okay. There's the builder. Do you have a specific AI generator you use?
Oh, you mean for like the tokens?
Oi,
Yes.
25 months. My monkey
Because
work
this
dance monkey.
is going to be very helpful for some things.
Yeah.
But
Dance, monkey, dance!
So before I was using Artflow a lot. Nowadays I'm using more ChatGPT's image function.
okay, cool. That's easy then. I just figured I'd ask because I needed something to make images into circle tokens, but also something to generate a few character images.
Garrick, Luis, Lol, Pelinar. Very? Yes, very.
Very good, yes. Das ist gut.
That's good, yeah.
Oh.
Well, while we give Jade like 2 more minutes to finish up what she's doing on Far Cry, I'm gonna go try to smoke real quick. Also, it's so much time.
I'm
You know what
updating
else
guys
is
anyway,
good?
so-
Kitty. Kitty is good.
Yes, it is.
Kitty is
Kitty.
Oh, is that a big purr? Is your good kitty?
There's Mr. Kaz.
Big purrs for you being good kitty? Yeah. Here, I'll let you wander on the desk. I had to show you off because you're being good kitty. You were being wild thing earlier. Well, on the bright side, guys, we've all been revealed.
Yeah.
Wait, the assassin in white is here?
Yeah.
Been a
you
minute
miss it?
since we played, eh?
It was right at the end there, bud.
Can we kill him?
You can certainly try.
Give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Probably about the same thing that happened to Jake when he tried to kill the big bad of last session.
Got his head blown off.
But here's the real question. Would my brother let me do it? Trace now has an immediate out for anything he doesn't want me to do.
Why? Why are you being dumb? For the love of God.
Just immediately, you black out.
Evan, if you reload your character sheet, you should see small update.
Okay, I can reload my character sheet. um, is it the
Cam, you could reload your character sheet. That should now be updated.
Is it the I'm not gonna say the whole word, but the warrior thing?
You should now have 3 levels in Warlock.
Oh, that's what I didn't notice. Okay. So part of it, yes. Because that is a warlock feat.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Oh. I am going to start trying to carve so much more shit now. Holy fuck. Oh, we're doing some art, boys. We're going to be doing some fucking art.
Arts and crafts.
We're throwing the fuck down on some art. So that explains why when I went into spells and it's like my attack modifier is +3 +2
Mm-hmm.
+8 +7 on my like all of my spell and attack modifiers are very different
Mm-hmm.
for both of them.
Yep. You want to know the fun part?
Whatever.
Well, you have Stormlight in you. Those modifiers get added together.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Uh,
I would assume that my packed weapon
Hey,
is my
Jaconator.
Hard
blade.
blade. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to throw that out there that I had questions.
Yes.
Um,
Brandon, your character sheet should be updated.
Updating, refresh.
oh, this is gonna be fun. Once per short rest, I get to do that.
Yeah, there's some stuff that works differently than actually is in there as, but for all intents and
So, for
purposes.
example, like Hexblade's Curse.
Yeah, so basically, it works kind of like it. It works on larger creatures. So if you were fighting, say, a Chasm Fiend, then it works like that, where you get the extra damage on top of it. Because they're large and you're cutting through their soul with the shard blade,
Okay.
you get extra damage with relation to it.
On non-large things, would it just work with
It
the
would.
critical hit thing?
Most of the time, it would just kill them.
Okay. Okay,
that's the main difference. Like theoretically, yes, but
okay. I'm just asking questions.
mhm.
It's not cool.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna go find that chasm fiend that took Jake Sama's arm, and I'm gonna go fuck that shit up.
Already dead.
No, Jake, we're gonna
It is-
find it. and
It
I'm
is
gonna
dead.
kill it.
Kaladin stabbed it through the brain.
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, you guys might not know that.
Yeah.
No, but you were there. No, that was Garrick.
Yeah.
Well, this also happened in one of the sessions that I was gone, so I don't remember it as vividly as others might.
Is big deads.
Oh, I just have improved critical anyways.
Yep.
As
And
a
then
standard, so
you also
I
have
wouldn't.
3 attacks now as well.
I have 3 attacks.
Yeah, it's only going to
no,
say
it says-
2. It's only going to say 2, but you have 3.
Okay, I'm gonna take note of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Jake, Cam was only 2 away. Very disappointed.
Yeah, sadness.
Much sad.
Damn.
Such well. Alrighty.
Jake, I'm so excited to do some art in this session.
Do the art.
Oh, dude, there's no. At this point, it's going to be very difficult for me not to do the art.
Bob Ross it, man.
Yeah.
Rob Boss.
Rob Boss.
Yeah. You know.
Ew.
Boob.
Is there a reason there's two of me right now?
You can shadow clone now?
Well, this time I'm like 90% sure that that was actually me because I have the same scar in the same same location on both of them. Like, hang on, that was pretty much one of my few indicators of who was who as far as me and my brother was the scar. My dad is bumping at the other one.
Boom.
I mean, he's been playing The Offspring and Third Eye Blind and Linkin Park. He's bumping.
Bump.
Poppin'.
Okay, and then let's go here. Oh yeah, he is live. Look at that.
Yeah, I am. Live and crazy.
Out of mind.
I'm out of my freaking
Somebody
mind.
stop him.
You're alive and kicking, though.
Live and stuff.
Alive and kicking. Ooh, whoa. Ooh, whoa.
Whoa.
My Dragon Ball Easter eggs.
Yeah, so I have all the DLC, and yesterday, because I didn't realize that I fucking hadn't completed the last
Do you guys see those?
3-starred all of the.
It's for like fuck it.
Those rolls. Do you see them?
He's
I see
alive.
dashes and zeros.
Okay.
But yeah, so all of the tribes are
6DF.
Evidently, I can theoretically fudge a roll if I wanted to.
1DF?
Nice cock. Hi,
Hmm.
how are you?
Whoa. Nice guy.
Oh, nice cock.
Oh,
Nice. Fuck.
Nice cock. Hey,
Alrighty.
nice.
Let's see how my favorite weed smoker's memories are.
Oh, well, that's
wait.
a mistake.
Wait, no, we don't need that shit.
Mistakes were made.
But
314.
see, here's the
Big
real
yikes.
question: is now he's about to ask his favorite.
It
He
just
has
says
to now
big
name
yikes.
a favorite. Go for it, Trace. Name a favorite.
He doesn't have to do nothing.
There's a reason why it was plural. Smokers.
No.
Because there's a lot of us and it's awesome.
So Lowell and
Luis.
Toomey. Notice Luis's eyes are getting lighter. Lots of Parshendi are near us. Shalon's almost finished her map. Getting really dark. A lot of red eyes in the dark. Spoopy. Voidbringers rolling 10,000 d20s. That did happen. Yes. Do you have me read it? Yes. You're better at reading this than my brain is freshly stoned.
Nice.
How would you leave off at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alucard? Is that how you say his name?
Alucard.
Alucard. Alucard asked Dalinar if he knew it'd be this spooky here. It's panicking here. Dalinar picks him up. Aladar being spurred. Was he spurred? Was I there for last session?
Yeah.
Okay. Dalinar tells him that those are the Voidbringers and that he sacrificed everything to get rid of them. Jeez. Kind of a pep talk, I guess. More Prussian are here. Cool. Lowell and Luis with Adolin. Toomey, Varix, and Raphael, plus someone else with Shalon. Luis hugs Toomey and tells them to go close the gates. Oh, right, because you went in and you did your shape change, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Loud noises. Song starts playing. Song should not be playing. Let's see here. Oh, we hear I'm sorry from the Stormfather. I'm the Almighty. Or I'm not the Almighty, I'm sorry. So, turns out there's a bigger god than him. Or a rival god. Because there was a big cloud that blew in too, if I remember correctly. Because we had the battlefield and then it was like drums and then it's like, oh man, they're playing music? That's not good.
Yeah, so we have the Everstorm, and the Stormfather said, fuck it, I'm bringing in a high storm to wash this whole mess away.
Meanwhile, in the camp, attack time. Let's see here. Cal is looking for wits, heading to the Ardentia. They're filling the arena with water. Pelinar doesn't eat shit on the stairs, lol. I bet you're wondering why we filled the arena with water. I mean, yeah, it crossed my mind. Look, the sand was dirty, okay. Wit's not here. Cal is torn on killing the king still. Do whatever helps you sleep at night. Cal hurts himself trying to spear train in the water. Oof. Cal looks weird with a spear now. He deserves it. Cal yelling at the sky. Garrick shapes or snaps? Snaps to a vision of Cal's brother dying.
Reality.
All the boys meet up, headed to the palace. Cal is out of it. The king is Delinar's Tien. Oh, right. They were saving the king after that. Roach was traitor, and then big fight happened there. Let's see here.
Fine.
The Parshendi seemed shocked that the lightning worked because there was a... Who got lightning magic? And it doesn't say on here.
Parshendi.
Well, Luis is trying to blend in with the Parshendi. He's one of them now. Let's see here. I'm trying to read this and it is very cursive-y. Alright, so let's see here. Storm Spren, variety of Void Spren. One plateau is a perfect circle. Oh, that's what Shalom was looking for, right? Let's see here. Renarin looks like he's in pain when he summons a shard blade. Puzzle room. We had to light the lanterns for the 10 lanterns and the 11 portraits. Let's see here. We need a shard blade there. Let's see here. Back to camp. I don't know that reference. Garrick is someone now.
A MacGyver.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Gravesman. Oh, Graves had the shard blade. Lowell summons his shard blade. He kills a bunch of peeps. He drops the Parshendi form so Adeline doesn't kill him.
Turns into Danny, which is real weird.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
Trust me,
You're my boy, Blue.
Lowell is having both a great time and a terrible time. He knows the words. Adeline has an idea and tells Lowell to follow him. This is Dunny. He's an old friend. Adeline is cutting rock and finds hallways behind it. At the Oath Gate. Need to open it. Shalom lights one lantern. Back at camp. Oh, cool. Alucard just passed out. Drunk, not dead. Alucard backpacks on Pelinar. Let's see here. You guys have the big fight there.
Yeah, cool moment.
You guys all say a bunch of fancy words. I think you get your oath back, I'm pretty sure.
I am the light of the universe.
Oh, a rumbling plus 3 voices at once talk. The sprinter back, maybe. Garrick knows the words, Pelinar knows the words, and Cal also chimes in. Graves is running away. Sill's back, something's wrong though. They wanted Cal separate from Delinar. Let's see here. Sanair is a shardblade. Is he? Alright. In the Oathgate, lanterns are being lit. Every shardblade was once a living spren. Renarin's shardblade doesn't work because it's dead. That's why he's in pain when he tries to wield it. Varric knows the words. The room is awake now. Varric uses new blade and can now turn the Oathgate. Adeline, Luis, and Lowell are going at the singers. The song ends. I'm sorry, they have sent it, my opposite. I can't send visions, but I'll send a storm to wash away those creatures. Rain clouds are forming, everyone rushing back to the Oathgate. The assassin in white is also here. Oh, that's from what I could tell on the notes. But
Sweet.
personally, so it's hard to read.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So basically, split between 3 different folks. We had Lowell and Luis make their way into the middle of the war with Adolin. It was not gone over on that one. I don't think I went over it last session as well. But Adolin engaged with the Shardbearer Eshonai from the Parshendi, and eventually, with the help of the other 2, managed to defeat her, sending her cascading into the chasm below. Aladar, or rather, Rillian's plateau was completely lost to the enemy, while Aladar's actually managed to ward off along with Adolin, casting most of the singers into either the abyss or a full retreat. They did not, however, succeed in canceling the Everstorm. On the other side, we had the plateau folks who were trying to figure out the minor puzzle of how to get an Oathgate operational again, and eventually discovered that it requires a Radiant to both manipulate Stormlight into the gems as well as have a living blade in order to activate the actual plateau itself. Back at the camp, we had Kaladin, Garrick, and Pelinar realizing kind of why they couldn't go off and just assassinated King willy-nilly. Fortunately, they made something of a last stand against 2 full shard bearers. Actually got a fucking decent fight in, shockingly enough, as good old Pelinar stabbed Moash in the eye.
Yeah.
um,
Eye for an eye.
yeah. But no, so they ended up making their final stands to literally the bloody final breath. And in that moment, their 3 spren seemed to return to life along with their oath. It was also revealed, as they said the 3rd ideal, that they were able to have their spren turn into shard blades. So that explained where Luis had found his. And yeah, finally, as the army was starting to retreat away from the main plateau and towards the Oathgate, Adolin reached out toward the falling or the passing scout, only to pull back the cloak and reveal bald head and very large shin eyes. An assassin cloaked in white, making his way towards
And-
Dalinar.
Sketch.
And with that, we will go ahead and hop back in. So, back at the Oathgate, you guys are watching as Dalinar seems to be rallying some of his main garrison, the ones who are directly under his control, onto the plateau above. In the meantime, sent down. Raphael, having been sent down to essentially escort Dalinar back in, you come in into the middle of a conversation. You just hear Dalinar say, "Storm it," as he kind of turns his back towards the powerful winds coming in, kind of buffeting from both sides. "I need an update." "Sir," you see one of his field commanders jog over. "Aladar has won his plateau. Apara is just composing you a message." "Really?" Yes, sir. High Prince Aladar said the singing Parshendi went right down. Let him slaughter him. The rest broke and fled. Even with Royan's plateau fallen, we have won the day." "Doesn't feel like it." You see Dalinar shout back, "Send orders immediately to Aladar and my son and General Call. There's a plateau just to the southeast, perfectly round. I want all our forces moved there for the upcoming storm." "Yes, sir." "Sir, have you seen that?" As you turn and look west, the red light flashing through the clouds was revealed to be lightning coursing down in repeated blasts, as if the sky itself seemed to spasm as something was building there. "Almighty above," you hear Navani whisper. "Leave the tents, Cal. Get everybody moving now. Navani, go to Brightness Shallan. Help her if you can." You see the officer leap as he begins shouting orders. Navani went with him, vanishing towards the Oath Gate. "And me, Dalinar?" Royan asks. "We'll need you to take command of your men, lead them to safety, if such a thing can be found." You see one of the tents nearby shake again as it, at first, seemed as if it would be pulled away with the wind. Only instead, you hear a shouting as a retreating figure of Adolin and two bodyguards behind, seeming to be keeping a good eye out on.
Yeah, and then we vanished like without a trace.
Yeah, there you go. Seem to be running from some sort of carrying force. What are you guys saying in this moment?
Poop.
If I remember right, I still look like Dunny.
Yeah, I guess. Raphael, as you suddenly see a red-headed ghost appearing with a shard blade and in a blue Colin uniform.
I'm just gonna casually wave at Raphael.
I'm assuming that's what I heard.
The microphone just freaked the fuck out.
Muffles. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. I don't like it.
Lol, what are you shouting as you're approaching?
I don't think I'm yelling anything. I'm still kind of. I'm in the middle of coming off of this high from war.
Oh, I totally forgot
Uh,
about that. You just
as-
had intense like battle rage and you just were knocking out people left and right. How
Yeah,
many nat
yeah.
20s did you get?
I almost
At
killed
least
Dunny
four?
again. So I'm a little shocked at that. I'm just
Is
kind
Lol a
of,
And
barbarian?
as you're approaching, you've got like the red glow eyes. Just the
Lol
sheen over 'em.
may, Lol may have tried to get back at me for a few
using
things.
my face.
But since he's not gonna say anything, now that I've waved to Luis, we saw the assassin in white.
Here?
Yeah, as soon as those words come through, a resounding thud slams into the back of Adolin as he goes skittering through the tent and onto his back, basically looking up at his father.
Oh, fuck.
As the assassin in white had slammed down from the storm clouds above and just blasted him in the back.
I will spin around and point my sword. Because I'm scared. It's probably not very threatening.
Yeah, you all will see the assassin in white approaching, glowing with spinning trails of stormlight Foreign features and clothing plastered to his body by the rain. A bowed, hairless head. Shadows hiding eyes that glowed with stormlights.
That looks like a level 10, and I feel like we're only level 5. I'm not sure how we should prepare for our deaths, but I did say I don't want to die a boring death, so I will welcome this with open arms.
You see Dalinar kneel down and kind of put a hand on Adolin's chest, the main section of his shard plate having just been shattered. Father, Adolin said, very, very dazed, as the assassin began stepping forward quietly, with no apparent urgency, as the man seemed to glide through the rain. When you take the princedom, son, don't let them corrupt you. Don't play their games. Lead. Don't follow. Father? You see Adolin's eyes focus as Dalinar stood up. Adolin lurched onto all fours, trying to get to his feet, but he's just unable to get any power behind it. You've been taught well, Adolin. You're a better man than I am. I was always a tyrant who had to learn to be something else. But you've been a good man from the start. Lead them, Adolin. Unite them.
Sadness and sorrow that I hear. I feel like I hear it somewhere.
You see Dalinar begin walking away from Adolin as he looks over to the two of you. Keep him safe.
It was a joke. Because it's not funny if you have to explain it.
I'm still pointing my sword at the assassin because I'm scared.
Oh, yeah. You see many other sections of the army following behind, having heard Dalinar's orders to have retreat. What are you guys doing? Are you helping Adolin get pulled away? It's currently in a basically just shoulder plates and like leggings that have no power.
Yes, I will try to
I'll go
use
on
all
one
the
side
muscle I
of the
have.
shoulder if Lowell's grabbing the other, and just
Okay.
I'll prop him up to get him
I'll
out.
go ahead and help carry him.
Okay.
I'm not very
guys-
strong, but I could clear a pathway probably.
You three begin. Don't mean to grab you as well. Begin grabbing him and dragging him away as other members of Bridge 4 have begun the general evacuation. As you're going by, curiously enough, you'll see in a tent not too far away, Polona and Sabariel just almost lounging as Polona seems to be reading and Sabariel just seems to be kind of eating some food off of a little platter by one of his
Are those
attendants.
Those are like the leaders of the forces, right? The two separate ones.
He's one of the high princes. He was
Oh.
essentially told by Dalinar that he has no responsibilities here.
All right.
I'm just gonna look over and just kind of point towards where we're going and just be like,
You see him go back to eating.
all right, it's his funeral, mate.
God. Back in the Oathgate itself, Varix, as you look over, you'll see Renarin suddenly collapse to his knees as he seems to be clutching the side of his head. Time's up. Time's up. As he starts scratching zeros into the wall just again and again and again.
Is there anybody else around me?
Shallan is just overseeing the whole thing, but she doesn't seem to be paying much attention outside of the oddity of it. And as you approach, you just hear, "It's come. It's come. It's come. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead." As outside, you hear massive claps of thunder.
Uh-oh.
As you two pull away Adolin, he'll command you essentially to help him out of his armor at the moment. just because he can't fucking move in it. And you'll look back and see Dalinar approaching the assassin in white. You see the assassin stop about 10 paces from Dalinar. Royan, pale-faced and stammering, backs away from the two of them. There we go. And begins shouting that the assassin had come. For a moment, the rainfall begins letting up a little. And the Shin Man didn't strike. He stood opposite to Dalinar, motionless, expressionless, water dripping down his face, unnaturally calm. You see Dalinar far broader and taller. The small man in white, with his pale skin, seemed almost a youth. Beside him, you see Royan's cries get lost in the confusion. However, other members of Bridge 4 begin to approach Dalinar and harry his sides. As they do, Dalinar waves them away. There's nothing you could do here, lads. Let me face him. So you see it, Dalinar hold his hand out to his side. He begins asking questions at the assassin. Why? Why did you kill my brother? Did they explain the reason behind your orders? I am Seth Sansan Villano, truthless of Shinovar. I do as my master's command, and I do not ask for explanations. Roll an insight check. Those of you who could see him. So Luis, Lola, and Rafael.
Insight though.
It's a good thing that my insight is as high as my performance.
Very nice.
Lowell and Luis, you notice, despite his somewhat stoic and stony demeanor, there is just a seething underlying current of rage underneath this man.
If he was an assassin, him and Cal would get along great.
You don't have to do this. If it's about the pay, what I am owed. You see the assassin shouting as water sprayed from his face and stormlight raised from his lips with each breath. Will come to me eventually. Every bit of it. I will drown in it, Stonewalker. See Seth put his hand to his side, shard blade appearing. Then with a curt, deprecatory motion, like he was merely trimming a bit of gristle from his meat, he strode forward and swung at Dalinar. A moment later, Dalinar catches the blade with his own, appearing in the hand as he raised it. The assassin spared a glance for Dalinar's weapon and then smiled, lips drawn thin, showing only a hint of teeth. That eager smile matched his haunting eyes. It was one of the most evil things that you've ever seen. Thank you for extending my agony and not dying easily. You see him step back and burst of fire with white light. And he came at Dalinar again, inhumanly quickly. As you two help Adolin fully out of his armor, you'll see him kind of shaking out of his daze. As he rubs his face, you all look over and see Dalinar fighting Zeth. Thank that man for listening to reason and bonding the madman's blade. You see him stare out at... There's wind gusting in from the east and the west building. You see Adolin stumble and fall to the ground as you two kind of hold him up. You two, he looks over to Lowell and Luis, are getting a storming raise. Thanks for helping me get the armor off. You guys hear
Pleasure.
metal clank as nearby Dalinar fought.
I will say, as soon as he says get a raise, I immediately drop my illusion. I need that money. I owe money.
It makes
That's
sense to you, not
awesome.
Johnny that gets paid, huh?
I owe money. I heard get a raise. Like, oh, he can know who I am now. I need money.
Help.
You see him.
Broke.
You see him blink.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
It's just a side
Why?
effect of the concussion. He looked like
Uh,
this before.
Yeah. Yeah, you see Adolin kind of take a weary step towards the fight as suddenly you all look up as to what Dalinar was doing and you almost freeze. In fact, you do freeze for a moment. As Dalinar moved beautifully. It was not as if he was fighting for his life. His life hadn't been his own in years. You see him fighting for Gavilar, fought as he wished he had all those years ago, for the chance he had missed, in the moments between storms when the rain stilled and the winds drew their last breaths before they blew. You see him dance with the Slayer of Kings and somehow hold his own. The assassin moved like a shadow, his steps seeming too quick to be human. When he jumped, he soared into the air and swung his shard blade like flashes of lightning. He would occasionally stretch forward with his other hand as if to grab Dalinar. Dalinar, seeming to have recalled the previous encounters, recognized that it was more dangerous. Those hands were more dangerous than Seth's weapon. Each time, Dalinar managed to bring his blade around and force the assassin away. The man attacked from different directions, but Dalinar didn't think. Thoughts could get jumbled, the mind disoriented. But years and years of instincts, they seemed to know what to do. Duck when Seth leapt over Dalinar's head. Step backward, avoiding a strike that would have severed his spine. Lash out, forcing the assassin away. Three quick steps backwards, sword up warningly. Strike for the assassin's palm as he tried to touch him. It worked. For a brief moment, Dalinar fought this creature. You see Dalinar survive, but he did not win. Finally, Dalinar twisted away from the strike, but was unable to move quickly enough as the assassin rounded on him and thrust a fist into his side. You hear, even across the short distance, Dalinar's ribs crack as he grunts, stumbling and almost falling.
You might want to soldiers. Man, I wish someone would get that deep inside me.
You see him swing his blade towards Seth in a warding motion, but it didn't matter. The damage was done as Dalinar sunk to his knees, barely able to remain upright for the pain. Another set of insight checks from you three, please.
You can roll it this time.
You,
Since I
you
was...
want to trust me for it? Well, I want to roll it worse. I guarantee it.
-1. I'm doing okay.
I'm a liar.
Raphael,
Filthy liar.
it's good that you noticed this actually, because you see a moment of freeing of grief in Dalinar's face, and a realization that even if he hadn't been asleep and drunk on the night that Gavilar had died, if he'd been there on that night, Gavilar still would have died. He couldn't have beaten this creature, couldn't do it now, and he couldn't have done it then. He couldn't have saved him. You see peace go over Dalinar's face. As a realization seems to come to you. And interestingly enough, in that moment, you hear words. I could just send it to Mr. Mersh.
I was gonna say, should I load it up on my phone?
That's fine.
Sorry, the computer's still kind of
No, you're good.
overloaded. You look like you're about to sneeze.
Yeah.
I will know what it means to free people from themselves.
In the distance, you hear, "These words are accepted." As you feel Koshi buzz in front of you a few times before extending into what looks like golden blade, long, sleek, and thin before you. And I will update your character sheet in a moment.
I'm part of the game now.
You see Adolin suddenly shout at the three of you to basically come fucking help. As you see the assassin in white approaching Dalinar once again.
Didn't your father want you safe?
Storm that! Let me get an accurate fucking deal real quick. There we go. Storm that. I'm going to save him. And
We could certainly try.
all right. Give me
I
just
mean-
2 seconds, and you should be updated.
He is technically the second in command, but seeing that Dalinar gave over the reins of leadership to him, he's technically our commanding officer right now, right?
That is technically correct. Yes,
It's kind of correct.
the best kind.
I'm gonna look at Lowell, who's usually the guy in charge, and just kind of like,
Raphael, you can reload your page, and you should be updated.
"Oi, Lord."
Cool. Yeah, storm that. He's gonna kill him. We need to help. As you see him basically just start to sprint the fuck forward.
Well, I might not be built for strength, but I am built for speed, and I'm gonna run after him.
Okay, you follow.
I too am following. But I'm gonna try to get between the assassin in white and Adolin.
Copy.
I'm gonna go ahead and also form the line because, again, I'm scared of this motherfucker. Adding multiple targets probably a good idea.
Okay.
Actually, I can't seem like I'm more afraid than lol. I'll stand up next to him.
Okay. You get up next to him. As you see Dalinar knelt before the assassin, defeated but not yet dead.
What jinx?
You see Adolin shout as he draws close, and then an unexpected figure jumps out of the tent near the man. As Rillian, with a full fucking dagger, jams it into the assassin in white's heart and begins wrenching it upwards. Rillian the coward.
Was that the one eating cheese in the
No.
tent?
No,
Oh.
that's the Barrio. He's still over there.
Jeez, man.
It's a burial.
Rillian is, he was always known as the coward. He would never send his forces out on anything but absolute sure things when it came to bridge runs. And as you see the assassin in white's robes just get stained red from the large gouge that Rillian put in his body, you see Seth just sigh as he reaches back and grabs Rillian before his hand wraps around his neck. To the sky with you. As you see Rillian suddenly falling upwards.
Bye, Royan.
And this time, is there any way that I can swap places with Dalinar?
Yeah, you end up pushing in front and put yourself in between Dalinar and the assassin in white.
With that happening for
Mhm.
transportation. For things, does that include people?
Mhm.
And is there a limit to that?
Depends on how much Stormlight you have at this point in the weeping.
I see. Okay. I wanted to try and move our group a safe distance closer towards the plateau. And if you were doing a swapsies with him, I was going to try and get everyone within our radius transported over further back towards the plateau. But I don't know where my storm fits up. Is that under inventory?
It's your, yeah, remember it's the coins.
Could I get a dex save from you three, by the way?
Please do not eat my mic again.
Dex
Deck
save, you said?
saves from the three of us.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. You can't push your head against my hand when I'm trying to use my mouse.
Cat.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Right there. That's a good roll.
Did you roll well?
Oh boy. Oh god.
I feel like
You,
they probably to be in the 20s.
You guys will hear the screaming voice of Royan as he flies into the sky above. And in that instant, you'll see the glint of the assassin's blade coming by in a sweeping motion. Starting off at Raphael, who's able to roll out of the way in time, along with Lul. Dalinar, already being on his knees, barely is able to duck out of the way. Whereas Luis, just not seeing it at all, ends up getting pretty much bisected right through his waist by the shard blade
Man.
as he collapsed to the ground. His lower half of his body just grayed out.
Can you heal yourself from that with your
Takes a
divine powers?
lot of Stormlight.
How much?
How much do you have?
Well, I have. Let's see. I
At least you get your
have
hands. You can still
right now.
technically lay
I have
on hands
11
on your legs.
platinum and 200 electrum. So probably not.
It might take a little bit more than that. You could feel some sensation as you consume what Stormlight you have. You could feel some sensation starting to return to like the lower waist part of it, but definitely not the legs yet, as you are currently flopped over on the ground. In any case, you'll see as the blade whips back around, Adolin barely blocking off the other section of the shard from coming back and hitting his father.
I interrupt by saying, it's merely a flesh wound.
And as you do, you hear Royan still screaming as he plummeted back down from the sky and slammed like a pancake about 5 feet away from you.
Splat.
Splat indeed, buddy.
Bull would like this sound.
You will see as the assassin in white takes a step forward. He'll make a second attack on Adolin, which will wrench the blade from his hands as it disappears into mist. And just a fist comes pummeling Adolin right in the side of his face as he essentially gets flown backwards about 3 or 4 feet. That will pretty much be that for now. Yeah. Okay, he's going to use one of his legendary actions.
Would now be a good time to try and transport us out? Because
Would
I
be
feel like this might...
if he wasn't using a legendary action to avoid that.
Okay. So, you know, running sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Now you'll see as the assassin dashes forward to Dalinar. Lol, you'll get a AOP actually. Go ahead and roll a hit.
Be right back.
Lucky you got improved critical. Yeah, you will see as he approaches with the blade in hand, he's about to shove the tip of it through Dalinar when you manage to reach out and slice right through his hand with the shard blade as it grays out and suddenly the blade falls limp from his hand, turning to mist. As he looks over at you, rolls his eyes and growls as he puts a hand on the one that's not affected by your cut onto the chest of Dalinar. And to his credit, Dalinar did not scream as you see him fall into the sky. You see the assassin look over at you, lower his blade, lower his hand rather, and begin turning away. What are you doing?
Well, I'm not walking anywhere, so
No.
I think I'm just I think I'm a little too petrified to move, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
How far up in the sky did he send him?
Real far.
I said we can't see where he went, huh?
It's about 60 feet a second, so do.
What? What are the chances that I can touch him before he walks away?
You can most certainly do that. What are you just trying to make it an arm strike?
No, I would like to try to use division,
Mhm.
my new little spell, to see if I can do some damage to his everything.
That's fair. Yeah, so that's an unarmed strike because it's a touch spell. So
Okay.
go ahead and make one of those. That'll do. That'll do. Roll damage.
That'll do.
Okay.
Does it have damage on there?
It does not.
Okay. I think I have an actual spell for that. Where's my creepy man? There's my little creepy man. Hello.
I'm back.
He's back. Dalinar just got sent into the sky.
Oh.
He has learned to fly.
No.
Yeah.
Someone get him down.
Well,
Like
see,
right now,
it's-
guys.
It's the
Grabbing
down
works
down
fine.
part that's the issue, actually.
Just
Fine
do
while
it
you're
gently.
flying.
Get him the fuck down.
Um, I guess I do not. Okay. Oh no. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Go ahead and reload your page. You should have a new spell. Decay.
Yeah, okay.
Passage would work. If we turn it
Your ideal is currently number 3. So
soften the ground a little, maybe.
So that would be
I do not have a spell to get us out of this, friends.
D12,
that'd be 60-12.
6D12. Okay.
Oh yeah. You guys will watch as Lowell, in seemingly a moment of anger, has just this red stormlight coalesce in his hands as he shoves it forward and slaps Seth right on the back as just these lines of decay just wrap around the entirety of the figure as the stormlight seems to significantly dull as it counteracts the almost killing blow of the decay running across him. But you'll see his clothes have these intricate lines of just dark black magic having gone throughout them all. You see him turn. I suppose what is one more, you I'll do for free.
Yeah, this is what I thought. But okay.
You'll see Adolin dashing off to the side of you as you hear him just shout, "Bastard!" You'll see him just shove his weapon towards the assassin. The assassin just slapping it away with ease. In fact, you see, you roll a medicine check, Lol. You're close enough to actually see. Well, Lol and Raphael. Ooh, yeah, neither of you know shit. You'll see Adolin give out a hearty grunt as he seems to be holding his wrist. You see Adolin gasp as he awaited the killing blow. And I look toward the sky. Father, I'm sorry. As you all look up, you blink as something glowing fell out of the air. Like a leaf, just gently falling. A figure, a man. Dalinar. The High Prince fell slowly, as if he were no more weighty than a cloud. White light streamed from his body in the glowing wisps. Nearby, bridgemen and soldiers murmured and pointed. You see Adolin blinking, certain that some of you had to be delusional. Dalinar looked like one of the heralds themselves coming down from the Tranquiline halls in this moment. It was disconcerting. But the assassin looked, following your gaze, and then stumbled back, mouth open in horror. No, no! And then, like a falling star, a blazing fireball of light, 3 figures slammed to the stone right around. As you see,
Shit,
the man himself,
came early.
Kaladin,
Oh, hey.
Pelinar,
Yeah.
and Garrick, looking much less elegant than the other two, having slammed down to the stone as well. You'll
Dalinar
see.
definitely tries to do the Superman landing. With super style.
And as he does, well, roll a performance check, Pelinar. Let's see how you do.
Oh,
really
fuck
bad
yeah.
for your knees.
Always is.
So bad.
He's a gym bro. He can handle it.
Oh.
You guys will see him land perfectly, like just Captain America with the shield. Just boom. Underneath, you'll see what looks like a blazing blue symbol, almost as if there are wings spreading out behind him. And in the middle of it, you see a certain strange 8-legged creature. As at least the symbol of one.
You guys got your spring back.
Is it actually our friend?
It's actually your sprint. Yes. They're only as dead as your oaths were.
Fuck yes.
You see Kaladin cracking his neck as he steps forward towards the assassin.
Grounded.
You sent him to the sky to die, assassin. But the sky and the winds are mine. I claim them as I now claim your life. As you see the shard blade in his hands extend outwards into a shard spear that he slams onto the ground in front of him.
I think I hear boss music.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'll go help Luis up while this is happening.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
at least
thanks.
try.
Well,
I'll
Garrett-
give you a
Gun
pat on the
too.
shoulder. You'll be fine. You can walk it off. Hopefully.
Oh, I really can't.
I don't think Garrett needs crutches anymore, so maybe we can ask him.
You guys are going to see Kaladin and the assassin in white blink off into the sky as they seem to engage in a battle. And let's go down the line. Garrick, first thing you notice as soon as you land, Luis is on the ground, currently very gray legs, as he seems to have been bisected by a blade. And you are overflowing with Stormlight.
And I'm just there, just patting his shoulder, giving him reassurances.
That's like a problem I could deal with, but like, is there anything else more pressing in the moment?
The slow turn.
God damn.
I mean, is there like, I don't know.
Anyone else need help? Anyone?
I don't like.
Any civilians
Is there
who
like shit might do or something first?
Literally anybody.
Anybody?
Luis, who?
Everyone okay? Anyone need a snack?
I'm gonna go get a snack.
I'm quite parched.
Lopen-
I can
does
use
Lopen need help?
water.
Like, actually, you know what? I think Moash back at the camp really needs us some,
Oh, you
some
know
help.
what? We should really just go get Moash. I think that's
Yeah.
more. That's
No.
more important, guys. We'll be
The
back.
guy-
It was
the
like
guy's-
20 minutes.
Yeah, the
Hey,
guy's
you can hold on,
bleeding.
right?
Yeah, the guy's bleeding. I mean, like, he's got stabbed in the eye. He needs help.
Pelinar
That-
survived without an eye.
I'm just
That
scooping
almost
up some of
scratched
the
his
dirt,
brain.
Scooping up
We have
some of
another
the dirt
person to
around it
use
and
the
just like
forbidden
tossing
word.
it on his wound. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this will heal you. Just dirt in his open wound. I'm like, all right, can you feel that? No? All right, let's try again.
Builds character.
No, his face is just.
Oh, there was an interaction I forgot as
Let's
the
see.
Zeth goes into the air. Looking, by the way, absolutely terrified. He's literally like lips trembling, wide eyed as he flees. You see Kaladin start shouting out orders. Seek shelter. I flew over a storm on the way here. A big one. It's coming from the west. We're in the process of withdrawing. Well, hurry. I'll deal with our friend here. Kaladin. You see Kaladin turn and glance at the High Prince, who stood tall, despite cradling one of his arms against his chest. As Dalinar met his eyes. You are what I've been looking for. As he looks around at the others around him. You all are. Yes. Finally. You see Kaladin turn away and fly into the air as he now engages the assassin in white. You may continue your ignoring of Luis's terrible
Decided that I
condition.
need to eliminate the past, 'cause I'd like to shed some light on what actually happened to see if he's just shitting with me or if this is all really a big thing. So let's eliminate the past just to make sure. I'm just kidding.
Let me use a fuck ton of Stormlight.
I just want to see
He
what
shits
happens.
his
if I have
pants,
one
then
second.
we
Make
know how
sure,
serious he
you know,
is.
Make sure he's really playing dead or if he's actually dead. No, I'll go ahead and it's not regrowth. It's progression, right? Technically, is the one I'd have to use because that's things to regress or progress.
No, regrowth will do.
Listeners, if he shit, you know he really did die.
He's not dead. He's just halfway bisected.
No, that's like legit. That's legit. Or would it just be
Yeah.
regrowth?
Regrowth. It's just regrowth.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember if that was technically what it would be or not.
Yeah. It's
How
regrowth.
much Stormlight do I need to use?
Just a Stormlight level. So for you at third ideal, 50 now.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck you too, Archie. Damn.
Is done.
Yay.
Where did you get that food? What the fuck?
Luis, you'll suddenly feel the feeling return to your legs as they seem to just pop back into place.
Don't worry, I regrew the right leg. I always noticed the slouch. I just make sure not to tell anyone. That should be the right leg now. You should be pretty evened out.
Speaking of legs, how'd you regrow yours?
Don't worry about it.
As long as my third leg working, we're all good, Goncho.
I'm sorry, I didn't regrow that. That gone forever.
Reduced to atoms.
Cuts back to 5 minutes ago, and I'm cutting it off. You can't have a bigger one.
I think the leg's okay, but there's torsion in a certain area.
What in the testicular torsion is that?
Varix, it's at about this point that you're stumbled out to the rest of the group, being like, what the fuck is taking you guys so long?
Jesus.
As you see
Okay, it's
suddenly
not that
Pelinar
easy
and Garrick.
to reattach someone's legs. You can give me a minute. God. Stormfather beware. Jesus.
Yeah, that's just team bonding.
Yeah, you suddenly see Pelinar and Garrick have returned and are no
Team
longer
bonding,
hobbled.
huh?
What's happening?
In a way,
Yeah, we rebound one half to another.
that's the deepest bonding you
You
can
got
do.
arms, you got legs.
Oh my god, can I mix match people? Ooh,
What the
ideas
fuck
for
is
later. Break
happening?
time.
It's fine. We're just better than you.
I'm pretty sure you're half.
Got your muscles back.
You know, thinking about the
Damn right I did.
while we're while moving, helping people move, I'm just like, why have I not tried to use this on Pelinar's eye yet?
See, that was an
Begins
interesting
to
question that he
transform the
failed.
atoms in Garrick's mouth, the air atoms, to turn him into something else to shut him up.
So here's the interesting thing. He failed an intelligence check on this back when Varix regrew his finger. It is
Nice.
curious that you've had radiant healing this whole time and yet you're still missing an eye.
It's what it is.
Where did he lose
Probably
it from
took
again?
that. You know, I really need the story
Lost
of
it
how
as a
that
kid.
happened. I feel like I've never pushed you to tell me that. I know this isn't the time, you know. It's like, oh, Doc, there's a trebuchet.
Yeah, no, you guys literally see it like tumbling over as the storms are approaching.
Remember, there's a fire in his head.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I don't think the fire took out your eye. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one, pal. That seems
wasn't
a
the
little
fire.
weird. What if the rest of your
It
body
was-
along with it?
It
Also,
was
why is
blazing wood that fell into the cracks of my hiding place into my face.
Fire.
Yeah. So again, then what the hell was actually that? Like that isn't
Was it
was a
hellfire?
magical fire where your was your family.
I was like 3. All I remember was my parents screaming and searing pain.
Pretty rough.
That's rough, buddy.
And then they became the moon.
That's right.
Yikes. That's even rougher.
You've always felt like something was missing.
Lord. In any case,
I
as
wholeheartedly agree.
as you guys are having this sidebar, you'll hear Dalinar bellow off to the side. Status of the retreat. Somebody get me information, damn it. As you see scribes and ardents appearing from nearby wreckage of tents as shouts arose from around the plateau. The wind started to pick up as their period of reprieve, the short calm was over. Everybody need to escape these plateaus now. You see
Would now be a good
Dalinar
time.
reach over to Adolin and help him to his feet, looking quite a bit worse for wear. Damnation. That bridge boy really is one of them. The Knight's Radiant.
All I'm useful for.
Throws you off cliff, hopes you open portal, jumps off blindly.
Well, maybe you should have read the
Yes.
instructions. Oh, right. You can't read.
It's for women.
Chris, how did you miss
And
what
you,
Marshall said?
Raphael.
Trying to get
Sorry, it's been 2 weeks. We have to like re-D&Dify our brains.
You're never gonna
It's
let
been
that
Fortnite.
go.
Never.
and that's for being a narc.
Wait, what
He's
was
the
that
reason
for?
I got caught.
No. Wholehearted is a word. And I was in reference to myself. Screw you.
And I totally ratted you out, actually.
Ah, Brandon would be a narc.
I would be. Of all
I was like, you
people
can
in
be
this
mad at me
group.
all you want. I said a normal phrase.
No, I just wanted to watch Evan suffer. It was great.
I know.
Oh, did Blondie
Good.
Prince Adeline, is he still on the ground somewhere, or did we get him up?
He's up. Dalinar got him up,
Okay,
and
okay.
they seem to be kind of reconvening at the moment.
Having a small
But
hug.
yeah, you'll hear him say, "Damnation! That bridge boy really is one of them. The Knights Radiant." Yes. You see Adolin smile, seeming satisfied. I knew something was odd about that man. Go. We need to get the army onto those 2 plateaus over to that direction, where Shallan awaits. Get over there and organize what you can. You see him look westward. Time is short. You see Adolin shout as many of the individuals start joining him. You see Dalinar go up and search as a very large horse approaches, its wet mane shaking in the wind. Bless you, my old friend, as he gets up onto the back. He was about to start shouting commands at the army when, interestingly enough, you'll see them walking by in very organized pairs. Dalinar! You'll hear a voice call as you all turn to find the incongruous sight of Sabariel and his mistress beneath the canopy, eating dried Sella fruit off a plate.
Nah, it was definitely cheese.
So you think
Hope you don't mind. We liberated your stores. They were blowing away at the time, so
He reminds me
and
of
kind of
Siri.
headed for certain doom.
Boreal.
As you see the soldiers marching by onto the bridge and getting onto the plateau itself. You did this? Yeah, well, they were making such a racket, wandering around, shouting at one another, weeping and wailing, very poetic. Figured someone had to get 'em moving. My army's already off on the other plateau. It's getting really cramped up there, I hope you realize. You see Polona flip the page of her novel, barely paying attention to the situation at hand. Have you seen Aladar? See Sabariel gesture with his wine. He should be finished crossing as well. You'll find him in that direction. Downwind, hopefully. Well, don't dally. You remain here and you're a dead man. Like Royan? Unfortunately. So it is true. Who am I going to make fun of now? See him shake his head sadly as he begins making his way over with Polona. With that, everybody begins their cross onto the main platform. Well, the group's all back together for the first time in a few weeks. As you're walking, you see
Everyone
a
has
massive
guns.
red storm to the left.
Oh yeah, does anyone
A
else need their
massive blue
limbs
storm.
back reattached? I mean, we haven't seen you guys in like weeks. I had to already put one of you back together, literally in half. Anyone else need anything while I'm here?
Yeah, I have a question. Could you potentially regrow my arms to be stronger?
I can only repair what was there originally. Your lack of muscle has nothing to do with that, unfortunately.
I'm taking that personally.
Yes. Can you get the cat off the computer?
This reminds me of a story where a young child
hit me.
got his legs repeatedly broken so he could grow taller.
What's a computer?
Alright,
I'm
well,
very lost.
Eleanor, if you happen to lose an arm, and I
Another-
happen to lose an arm,
Another one.
we could do a half and half.
I mean, I am all down for this. Can we not do this? Actually, we could totally do this in the battlefield. Even more reason. Go out there and fight for a minute before the whole thing hits.
Not my right arm, that's my dominant. So if you lose an arm, Pelinar, make sure it's the left one. And I will do my best
Weaker one.
for the left as well. This could work.
If you both gave up the dominant arms, if you were both opposite dominant arms, it's off. You
We
gave
could
both dominant
just
hands and
cut
ambidextrous.
the arms
How
off.
do you make such big words? You don't
Okay. I just zoned out for about 30 seconds. Are we talking about grafting people's arms to each other?
Yeah. Kind of.
Gone
Okay.
through the grafted, my friend.
Are you shocked?
Like, if everyone else has such big strength, maybe they could share.
I'm just saying, how did Garrick switch personalities with Lowell for about 45 seconds there?
Because it's been 2 weeks since we played D&D and my brain's fucking shot.
I'm not
I
gonna lie,
didn't mean to
after
pause the
you
music.
got your limb
How do I
removed,
replay it?
you got so sassy so fast.
Me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I fucked up the
Girl lost
music.
my
I'm
limbs.
the worst.
I have some
Like,
kind of personality.
God.
Okay.
You straight up were like, fight me to the storm.
Smite me.
Why would you do that?
Don't have
Smite me, almighty smiter.
Bro.
Just throwing out there, if this is possible, Lowell could look at everybody's inside by go full grafting them Krang style from TMNT into people's insides.
Not wrong.
So what I'm hearing is it is possible.
We have broken our DM again.
I
It's been
don't
a while
know,
since
but
we've
we
done
can
this.
definitely try. Who
I
wants to
can
go?
Rage
Arcana
first?
checks.
Fighting
Everybody.
is not
Jesus
so
fucking
effective.
Christ.
Smoke is
Buckets.
coming out of Tracy's
I
brain
got
right
a
now.
-1.
I got a 20.
2.
Nice. Impressively low rolls from everybody. Well done.
That's pretty
That's
bad.
about right for our
Except for
night.
Yeah. Luis, you'll feel a connection snap between you and Kaladin and the rest of the group as suddenly you all dip into a vision as you step into the room where the 10 candelabras are. Outside, you'll hear just insane grinding as two high storms crash together. You'll see Kaladin shooting into the air after the assassin, the shattered planes falling away behind him. Fallen gemstones twinkling across the plateau, abandoned where tents had blown down or soldiers had fallen. They illuminate not only the central plateau, but the other three surrounding and beyond. One that looked oddly circular from above, where the armies gathered on. Small lumps dotted, others like freckles. Corpses, so many corpses. Kaladin looked back towards the sky as he was free once again. Winds surged beneath him, seeming to lift him, propel him, carry him. You see his shard blade shatter into mist, his sill zipped out, becoming a ribbon of light that spun around him as he flew. Syl lived. She lived. He still felt euphoric about that. Shouldn't she be dead? When he asked her on the flight out, her only response was simple. I was only as dead as your oaths, Kaladin. See Kaladin continue upwards, out onto the path of the oncoming storms. He could see those directly from his vantage. Two of them, one rolling west and the other and bursting with red lightning, the other approaching more quickly from the east, a dark gray storm wall. They were going to collide. A high storm, Kaladin said, shooting into the sky after Zeth. The red storm is from the Barshendi, but why is a high storm coming? It isn't time for one. My father, you hear Syl say solemnly. He brought them, the storm rushing in its pace. He's broken, Kaladin. He doesn't think any of us this should be happening. He wants to end it all, wash it all away, and try to hide from the future. You see the assassin disappear above, vanishing into the dark clouds. Kaladin gritted his teeth as he lashed himself upward again, gaining more acceleration. Shot into the clouds, and around him, everything became featureless gray. He kept watch for glimmers of light to announce the assassin coming from. He might not have much warning. The area around him lightened. Was that the assassin? Kaladin extended his hand to his side as Syl formed into a blade immediately. Not 10 heartbeats? Not when I'm here with you ready. The delay is primarily something of the dead. They need to be revived each time. See Kaladin burst out of the clouds and into Stormlight. He gasped, having forgotten that it was still daytime. Here, far above the earthy darkness of war, the sun beat upon the cover of clouds, making them glow with a pale beauty. The thin air was frigid, but raging with stormlight inside him that was easy to ignore. You see the assassin hover nearby, toes pointed downwards, head bowed, silvery shard blade held to his side. Kaladin lashed himself so they stopped and then sank level with the assassin. I am Seth Zansan Villano. Truthless. Truthless. You have stolen honor blades. It's the only explanation.
Poor bitch.
I possess no such weapon, and I don't know why it would matter if I did. I hear your lies. I know them. You see Seth shout out as he pushes his sword towards Kaladin. Cal lashed himself to the side, jerking the other way. He swiped with his blade, but didn't come close to connecting. I should have practiced more with the sword, he muttered, as Syl once again came up, her voice ringing through his head. Oh, that's right. You probably want me to be a spear, don't you? You see the weapon fuzz into mist and then elongate, growing into the shape of a silvery sphere. You see Zeth twist in the air, lashing himself back to a hovering position as he looked at the spear and then seemed to tremble. No, truthless. I am truthless. No questions. Stormlight streamed from his mouth with each word as Seth threw his head back and screamed, a futile human sound that dissipated into the infinite expanse of the sky. Beneath them, thunder rumbled and clouds shivered with color. Storms crashed together beneath Kaladin. The clouds broke apart, black, red, gray, mingling in enormous swirls. Lightning arched among them. It seemed to be Harietium again, the end of all things. Above all of this, atop the world, Kaladin fought for his life. Zeth flew by, sweeping flash of silvery metal. Kaladin deflected the blow, the spear in his hand vibrating with a ding. Seth continued on, passing him. Kaladin lashed himself in that direction. He fell westwards, skimming the top of the clouds. Though to Kaladin's eyes, that direction was down, he fell with his spear aimed, point straight towards the murderous shin. Zeth jerked left, and Kaladin followed, quickly lashing himself that way. Violent, churning, angry clouds mixed beneath them. The two storms seemed to fight. The lightning that lit them was like throwing punches, crashes sound, not of thunder. Near Kaladin, a large stone churned up through the clouds, spinning vapors across its length. It breached the light like a leviathan, and then sank back beneath the clouds. Stormfather, he was hundreds, perhaps thousands of feet in the air. What kind of violence was happening below if boulders were being thrown this high? You see Kaladin lash himself towards Seth, picking up speed, moving along the top of the storms. He drew close and then eased back, letting his acceleration match that of Zeth's so that they flew side by side. Kaladin drove his spear towards the assassin. Zeth parried deftly, shard blade held to one side while supporting the blade from behind with the other, diverting Kaladin's thrust to the side. The Knights Radiant cannot have returned. They have. And they're going to kill you. You see him lash himself towards the side as he swung, twisting in the air, sweeping towards Zeth. Zeth jerked upwards, however, passing over Kaladin's spear as they continued to fall through the air. Clouds just beside them, Seth dove inwards and struck. Kaladin cursed, barely lashing himself away in time. Zeth drove past him, disappearing into the clouds below, becoming just a shadow. Kaladin tried to trace a shadow but failed. Zeth burst up beside Kaladin a second later, striking with 3 quick blows. One took Kaladin in the arm. He dropped Syl. Damnation. He lashed himself back away from Zeth, then forced Stormlight into his graying, lifeless hand. With an effort, he made the color return. But Zeth was already upon him with his airborne lunge. Mist formed in Kaladin's left hand as he raised it to ward, and a silvery shield appeared, glowing a soft light. Zeth's blade deflected away, causing the man to grunt in surprise. Strength returned to Kaladin's right hand, and as the severing healed, he was forced to use so much Stormlight that it left him feeling drained. He fell away from Zeth, trying to keep his distance, but the assassin kept on him, jerking each direction that Kaladin did as he tried to escape. You are new at this. You cannot fight me. I will win. Zeth zipped forward and still formed into a spear in Kaladin's hands. She seemed to be able to anticipate the weapon that he wanted. Zeth slammed his weapon against Syl and brought face to face with the troubled eyes, their lashings pulling them along the clouds. I always win. It was strange the way he said it, as if he was angry. You're wrong. About me. I'm not new to this. You only just acquired your abilities. No. The wind is mine, the sky is mine. They've been mine since childhood. You're the trespasser here, not me. As they break apart, Kaladin threw the assassin backward. He stopped thinking so much about his lashings, about what he should be doing. Instead, he just let himself be. He dove for Zeth, coat flapping, spear pointing towards the man's heart. Zeth got out of the way, but Kaladin dropped the spear and swung his hand in a great arc, still formed into the axe head of an halberd as it came within inches of Zeth's face. The assassin cursed but responded with his blade. A shield was in Kaladin's hand a split second later and slammed away the attack. She still shattered even as she did so, forming back into a sword that Kaladin thrust forward with empty hands, the sword appearing. The weapon bit deeply into Seth's shoulder. The assassin's eyes widened as Kaladin twisted his blade, pulling it out of the assassin's flesh, and then tried to backhand to end the man permanently. Seth was too fast, however. He lashed himself backwards, forcing Kaladin to follow, piling on lashing after lashing. Seth's hand still worked. The strike was into his shoulder hadn't fully severed the soul leading to the arm. Kaladin's Stormlight was running out. Zeth looked even lower, fortunately. The assassin seemed to be using it up at a much faster rate than Kaladin, judging by the decreased glow around him. Indeed, he didn't try to heal his shoulder, which would have required a lot of light, but continued instead to flee, jerking back and forth and trying to outrun Kaladin. The shadowy battle continued as triangles of lightning and winds spinning through the clouds crashed. As Kaladin chased Zeth, some gargantuan thing moved beneath the clouds, a shadow the size of a city. A second later, the top of an entire plateau broke through the dark clouds, twisting slowly, as if it had been thrown upwards from below. Zeth almost ran into it. Instead, he lashed himself upward just enough to crest it and then landed on the surface. He ran alongside it as it churned lethargically through the air, its momentum running out. Kaladin landed behind him and retained most of the lashing upwards, keeping himself light. He ran up beside of the plateau, heading almost directly upwards to the sky, dodging to the side as Zeth suddenly twisted and cut through the rock formation, sending boulders tumbling downwards. Rocks clattered along the surface of the plateau, which itself began to tumble back down towards the ground. Zeth reached the peak and threw himself out. Kaladin followed shortly thereafter, launching from the stone surface, which sank like a dying ship into the roiling clouds. They continued their chase, but Zeth did it, falling backward along the storm top, his eyes on Kaladin, wild eyes. You're trying to convince me. You can't be one of them. You've seen that I am. Their Voidbringers are back. They cannot be. I am truthless. I need not fight you. You are not my target. I have work to do. I obey. You see him turn and lash himself downwards, directly towards the plateau where Dalinar and the rest of you had gone. In this moment, you snap back, as specifically you, Varix, have Shallan shaking your shoulders. The blade. We have everybody on. We need to activate it now.
Okay.
Wait, dude.
Guess we're activating the blade.
Alrighty. You summon your silvery blade, long and thick, and with these little, seemingly peak formations along the top of it, as you insert it into the dais. You slowly twist the
So is it
blade.
different now than it was before?
Before it was kind of more rudimentary. It's as if it's kind of falling into a more natural state now that it had been summoned a second time.
Okay.
And you do realize that that is Appy who is
Hey.
forming it. So,
Love Appy.
but yeah. So you insert the blade and slowly twist it upwards. As you do, the vision seems to return to you. As Kaladin followed Zeth into the storm, diving into the blackness. The storms, being the source of Stormlight, energized both of them. And as they did, you see Zeth making his way, almost landing onto the plateau again, when suddenly the whole thing disappeared.
Oh. It's no bueno.
As you all take a moment to kind of get your bearings, you look out the carved opening adjacent to the room, and you see snowy peaks and fresh blue air. Fresh blue skies and air. But regardless, you step out, and specifically, Mr. Garrick, you see a very familiar sight. As Uruthiru appears before you.
Oh, fuck.
We're just playing travel. Through the honor group.
I haven't played that. It's good to finally be able to say this is what I've been saying.
Back into the vision, not too far later, you all hear Seth screaming words at Kaladin, but they were lost in the tempest. Trailing behind, they break back out into the sunlight again, as Seth screamed, "How?" Kaladin's answer was only to strike with his blade. Seth parried violently as they clashed, the two figures in blackness. "I know this column. I have seen it before. They went to the city, did they not?" You see the assassin launch himself into the air, westward. Yeah. You see an exchange of blows go on as a long game of cat and mouse appears. Not long after, you see Kaladin leap on churning boulders as they appear, pursuing Zeth, who flew wildly, his clothing flapping, windsprin forming a halo around Kaladin, zipping in and out, spinning around his arms and legs. The proximity of the storm kept his Stormlight stoked and never letting it grow dim. You see Zeth slow, his wounds healing. He hung in the air before the crashing storm wall, holding his sword before him, and took a deep breath, meeting Kaladin's eyes. An ending, it seemed to be. Kaladin dove forward, sills forming into a spear in his hands, his most familiar weapon. Zeth attacked in a sequence, relentless blur of attacks. Kaladin blocked each one, ending with his spear against the hilt of Seth's blade, pressing the two together, mere inches away from the assassin's face. "It's actually true." "Yes." You see Seth nod, and an edge of tension seemed to fade from him, replaced by an emptiness in his eyes. "Then I was right all along. I was never truthless. I could have stopped the murders at any time. I don't know what that means, but you never had to kill. My orders, excuses. If that's why you murdered, then you are not the evil man I assumed. You're a coward instead. See Zeth look him in the eyes and then nod. He pushed Kaladin back and then moved to swing. Kaladin drove his hands forward, forming Syl into a sword. He expected a parry. The move was intended to draw Seth out of his attack pattern. But Seth did not parry. He just closed his eyes and accepted the attack. In that instant, for reasons he could not have articulated, pity perhaps, Kaladin diverted the blow, driving it through Seth's wrist. The skin grayed as it flashed, reflecting the light as the sword tumbled from the assassin's fingers, then dulled as it plummeted. The glow fled from the assassin's form, all his stormlight vanishing in a puff. All lashings vanished. Zeth started to fall. "Get the sword," you hear Syl say. "Grab it!" The assassin. "He has released the bond. He is nothing without that sword. It must not be lost." See Kaladin dive after the blade, passing Zeth, who tumbled through the air like a rag doll, buffeted by the winds of the storm wall. Kaladin furiously lashed himself downwards, snatching the blade just before the storm consumed it. Nearby, the assassin dropped past him into the storm and was swallowed up, leaving Kaladin with the haunting image of Zeth's limp silhouette being driven into a plateau below with the tempest force. Raising the assassin's blade, Kaladin lashed himself back upwards and passed along the storm wall, the wind sprint he attracted spiraling about him and laughing in pure joy. As he crested the top of the storm, it burst out around him and zipped away, moving off to dance in front of the still advancing storm. And with that, you see the vision once again break as you, along with Dalinar and many of the soldiers, begin slowly pouring their way out from the circular platform in front of Uruthiro, only to look up and see what is essentially a mountain-sized city appearing before you. What are you doing?
I assume that we have to take refuge, right?
Nope. No
Or are we
storms here.
outside of
Yeah, no storms here. Seem to be too high. In fact, as you think of it, you kind of go and look down and you notice that far below there are distinct gray storm clouds roiling.
Rather high up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nothing like the present. I'm gonna continue forward and start looking around.
Okay. Roll an investigation check or a perception, whichever you prefer.
Could I have advantage because of my visions of the past?
No.
It's damn well worth a shot. What are the two options again?
Perception or investigation. I'll give you different things. Okay.
Well, just natural 20. That's cool. Natural 20, cool. Good to be back, guys. That's I think that's our 90th natural 20.
Nice.
As you step out, you'll notice that there are a total of 10 platforms all around you. Each one has its own indoor room area, but the only one that seems to be currently active is the one from the Shattered Plains. Other than that, the main thing that you're noticing is that there's multi-tiers of this whole city, and it seems to have a distinct architectural bent to it, where essentially, if you look at the image, each one of those little lines there is an individual window to an individual room. So if you needed to, you could fit like a lot of people. And if you look off to the right-hand side, that's about the size of a chasm fiend.
Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What city is
That's
this?
pretty. That's pretty big.
And this is in the same area, just up higher.
This is in the clouds. I'm actually gonna attempt. I'm gonna attempt to say the name of the place out loud.
All right.
Does it work?
It does indeed.
Have you been here before?
Is there something up with my neck? Is anything different?
I think it probably looks the same.
You see a soft glow of green in the scars on the symbol of his neck.
Maybe if you move your beard out of the way, I could see better.
But the beard gives me character. I do need to shave it, or at least trim it, though. It's getting a little annoying.
There's a faint color of green on there. So have you been here before?
Yes, but no.
Well, I mean, you knew the name. Apparently, it came as a surprise that you could say the name.
I've been looking for it for a while.
Wanna explain?
Every picture I've tried to draw, most of them at least retain to this.
And it's important to you, but you've never been here? Did you see it in visions?
Yes? Technically? I might have also been there. Also, it's kind of hard to explain.
Uh-huh.
I guess here.
Well, I assume we can just go straight in, right?
Hello, anybody home?
There's distinctly nobody home. In fact, this
Yeah,
place is
oh,
dusty.
Dibs.
Nope. I'm racing
Nope.
Derek to
No
try
one's
and
been
take
here
the
in years. I own it
first
now.
Step
It's
into the
mine.
room.
Kingdom in the sky.
I don't think
Shall
that lives up
rule
to
the
the
land.
teachings
No,
of
I'll
your
name it
kingdom.
Hyrule.
Your whole quest line doesn't make sense then.
I never did. Anyway,
I'm racing you to the.
I'm not
entrance.
actually.
You see, you
I'm-
see
Got
Garrick
my legs
and
back. I'm not racing.
you see Garrick and Raphael immediately starting to make their way into the city. Luis, what are you up to?
Well, I am gonna go ahead and follow them into the city, and I am looking for scraps because I'm in a strange place, and I would like to make some markers for our way back.
Yeah, so you can easily enough get some scraps of like cloth or something like that from various different parts of the army. As Dalinar starts commanding, essentially that the compound be searched.
Okay.
Yeah.
While
I'm
searching, I'm
just
look
gonna
for,
start dropping markers for us on the way back.
Okay. Lowell, what are you up to?
I'd like to see if there's a place that I can recharge my spheres.
the spares. Speeds.
You're
Yeah,
not seeing
maybe.
any sort of active gems at the moment, but go ahead and roll either an investigation or an arcana, if you so desire.
He's not. He's ruffy.
Shit.
Yeah, you're having a hard time kind of discerning too much about this area. You do see there are lanterns and various different areas where there are gemstones, but not really too much active at the moment. Only what you guys are bringing in, and it's like the real large ones.
Okay.
In any case, Mr. Varix, what are you up to?
Just following the group for now.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Pellinor, what are you up to?
I was just like, whoa, we found it.
Taking it all in.
Alright.
what's it like inside? Is it all like marble slabs and stuff? Very temple-like.
Um, yeah. So
Like what are they called? The churches that nuns live in?
nunneries.
I guess. No, there's a different word. It's like fancy churches,
cathedral?
and they've got like slabs and like
Monasteries.
yeah, those. Does it look like a monastery in the inside?
Sort of. So on the outside, it's gonna be very like sun-worn, polished stone. But once you actually start getting into the insides, there are these interesting the it's as if the walls were carved like out of the mountainside itself, and there's like little bits of strata that are kind of going through, you know. Like there is some that look like little lines of gems, and then others like a line of gold, that sort of thing. But they're all just very, yeah, stratted out.
So I'm getting a image of like a dwarven mine, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. So as you're kind of like, the closer you are to the outside of it, the more things are kind of bright and normal, very light stone. But then as the further you start getting in, the more where it has a more naturalistic feel to it.
Gotcha.
Another thought occurs to you. What in the world happened to the king?
Me? Or to
Yeah,
He's fine.
Raphael.
me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on to Garrick.
The hell are you looking at me for?
What happened to the king while you were in camp?
The hell are you asking me this for? Now.
It slipped my mind. You know, I'm kind of taken away by all this breathtaking scenery as I knock my fist against.
So you're asking about the king?
Hello? I don't hear an echo. I assume this is safe. Yeah, what about the king?
The answer is that
Alive.
you guys dropped his ass off at with Lopin and like a couple of his cousins hiding in the war camps because nobody would look there.
Somewhere secret.
As I knock again. Put my ear over to the wall.
Hey, Air, I got a question for you. Well, actually, Trace, we saw. So Kaladin changed his shard blade into a spear, correct?
Yep, you saw that.
And are shard blades are able to change shape easily?
Yes. Well, we can't do anything, but we can do many things. As you see them shift into what looks like kind of a heavier warhammer.
Go ahead and carry on. I'm gonna whisper to Air and see if I can maybe get something.
One thing that you guys are noticing as you're going through and exploring this area is that there's distinctly no furniture. There's areas where you see that like doors could be, but they're not there. It's like this place has been left alone for 4,000 years, and every single scrap of wood or decomposable material has been long since gone.
How far would it take to get to the top?
It'll take a while. Couple
I'll
hours
look
at
over
least.
at Garrick, look up at the top and be like, so, about that race.
Oh.
Only cowards say no, and I'm gonna take off running towards the top. It's a good way to explore. Plus, if you make as much noise as possible, it alerts everyone that you're there. But it alerts everyone that you're there, so you know. Critical thinking.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Why don't we go ahead and start? 3, 2, 1.
Zoom. Yeah, I'm going.
Absolute fool.
I'm booking it. Going as fast as my nimble legs can carry me.
Alrighty. Make a constitution check for me.
Con check. Where is that? There.
Perfect. Looking for like size and everything. The overly ridiculous. Going for it.
Well, it's higher than a 10.
Raphael, you get about an hour into it. You're like, man, I'm beating the shit out of him. I'm winded. Yeah.
As I'm like only 3 floors down. Oh, good job. You won. I'm just leisurely walking up.
need to see what's at the top.
In any case,
He yelled at everyone else. Good news! So far, no one's tried to kill him yet, so no guards.
yeah, this place is distinctly empty.
I imagine everyone just hears the. As I'm running.
The tip and tap and pitter patter. Pitter patter, let's get at her, bud.
And then also just the slight wheezes. All right, another stuff. All right, we gotta go. Another floor. We've got 10 more. We could do it.
In any case, as you all begin exploring, you find much of the same throughout the various different layers. There are certain areas that seem more specialized than others, but it's hard to go off of, especially when there's no workable furniture. But in any case, it's not too long until Kaladin is brought back through the portal, returning the blade that was called an honor blade to Mr. Dalinar. Eventually, as things start getting going and people start moving in a more permanent basis, Dalinar sends orders for the Shattered Plains, the war camps, to begin making full way into this, as there are preliminary reports that as the Everstorm, the Red Storm, passes, it changes the Parshendi who it does, and it's very possible that they will start to attack at any moment now. With that said, eventually, one of the first people slash high princes to make their way into the confines of Uruthiro is actually Sadius. As his army begins getting fully settled in,
Is there any world I could try to stand at the gate and stop him from coming in?
Gatekeeping.
I would like to girl boss gatekeep this motherfucker.
we'll get to that shortly.
Gaslight.
I will girl boss, gaslight, and gatekeep this fucking place from Sadius. I swear to God. I swear to Stormfather.
Speaking of which,
Oh fuck.
the six of you were on guard duty, and having come out essentially as the various Knights Radiant, and at the moment de facto heads of your orders, you are brought up to the top of the tower where you see Dalinar.
I made it there first. Right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
You were the quickest of all the people.
Laughs and
I
portal
need
magic.
one thing. Just one.
You all will look over and see Dalinar seeming to be engaging in a conversation that only you guys are privy to at the moment. You see him regard the sky and take a deep breath. You sent that storm to destroy us. You sent it to cover up what Shallan and then Kaladin and these others were becoming. You tried to end this before it could begin. See a prolonged silence. Why send me the visions and tell me to prepare, then try to destroy us when we listen to them? I was required to send those visions once the time arrived. The Almighty demanded it of me. I could no more disobey than I could refuse to blow the winds. The visions were his then, and you the vehicle for choosing who received them. Yes. Why did he pick me then? It does not matter. You were too slow. You failed. The Everstorm is here, and the spren of the enemy come to inhabit the Ancient Ones. It is over. You have lost. You said that you were a fragment of the Almighty. I am his spren, you might say, not his soul. I am the memory men created for him. Now that he is gone, the personification of storms and of the divine, I am no god. I am but the shadow of one. I'll take what I could get. You wished for me to find you, but your kind have brought only death to mine. What do you know of this storm that the Parshindi unleashed? The Everstorm. It is a new thing, but of old design. It rounds the world now, and carries with it his spren. Any of the old people it touches will take on their new forms. Voidbringers. That's one term for them. This Everstorm, will it come again? For certain? Regularly, like high storms. Though less frequent. You are doomed. And it will transform the Parshman. Is there no way to stop it? No. See Dalinar close his eyes, nod. They'd been trying to reach out via span raid to the various different kingdoms, but we're having trouble opening any sort of diplomatic passageways. In fact, only one so far had actually agreed to come and visit Urithiru, and that was Teravangian of Kerbranth. The small little,
Teravangian.
the small little island nation off the southern coast of Alethkar, that was primarily known for their surgeons. It was where Kaladin was originally supposed to be sent. You see Dalinar sigh as he shakes his head. I've been commanded to refound the Knights Radiant. I will need to join their number if I am to lead them. You hear a distant rumble, or distant thunder rumble in the sky, though there were no clouds. As you see a wry smile on Dalinar's face. Life before death. Strength before weakness. Journey before destination. I am the sliver of the Almighty himself, voice said, sounding angry. I am the Stormfather. I will not be let myself be bound in such a way as to kill me. I need you. Despite what you did, the Bridgemen speak of oaths given and of order of and each order of Knights Radiant being different. Yet the first ideal is the same. After that, each order is unique, requiring different words. You hear the thunder rumble, sounding almost like a challenge. Fortunately, I know the second oath I am to make. I don't need to be told it. I will unite instead of divide, Stormfather. I will bring men together. You see this, or you hear this thunder suddenly silenced as Dalinar strode alone, staring at the sky, waiting. A very, very protracted silence followed. Very well. These words are accepted. I will not be a simple sword to you. I will not come as you call, and I will not have to divest yourself, and you will have to divest yourself of that monstrosity that you carry. You will be a radiant with no shards. It will be what it must. You see Dalinar summon the shard blade, and as soon as it appeared, screams sounded through all of your heads as he dropped the weapon. His screams vanished immediately. The blade clinged to the ground, unbound to Dalinar. What was the meaning of the last vision I received? The one this morning came with no high storm. No vision was sent this morning. Yes, it was. I saw light and warmth. A simple dream, not of me nor of the gods. Go, bondsmith. Lead your dying people to failure. Odium destroyed the Almighty himself. You are nothing to him. The Almighty could die. If this is true, then Odium can be killed as well. I'll find a way to do it. The visions mentioned a challenge, a champion. Do you know anything of this? The sky rumbled but gave no reply. With this, you see Dalinar nod and begin making his way down the steps, looking to each one of you as he does. Continuing downwards, you all will find your way down hallway after hallway for turning a corner and seeing a small crowd of what appears to be members of the bridge crews in their blue uniforms, murmuring and looking down at something.
Who's dead?
What are we
I
doing?
want to go see.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Me too.
Definitely gotta go see.
As you all start pushing your way forward through the crowd, they begin slowly parting as they see Dalinar behind you. And as the first one through, Garrick, you joke, who's dead?
God damn it.
And you look down and you see Toril Setius on the ground, a knife wound
Sorry.
directly through his eyeball as he lay unmoving and pale on the ground. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end session there.
Something. They should really give themselves up so I can talk to them personally. Give them an award. I mean,
Give them a high five.
reward them and give them, I don't know, like a day in prison, honestly, for nothing.
And that is where we're going to go ahead and end session for the night.
It's hilarious.
Well, next session is gonna start with me fucking clicking the all right, let's find out what happened button. Moody Jazz.